What's up, you sexy buffalo? It's your boy LJ here. In today's video topic, I want to focus on the footwork fundamentals. This topic for me is very important to cover, as there's a lot of novices out there who are just starting up their boxing journey and they don't know where to start when it comes down to the footwork. And for me personally, footwork is everything when you first start boxing. So in this video, it's my job to give you guys 6 essential fundamental footwork drills for all my beginner boxers to start off on the right track. Now let's start off with drill number 1, which is the most important drill of all, which is skipping. And no, you cannot skip this part, no pun intended, because skipping is the most essential drill that you must learn in order to gain fluidity and, most importantly, coordination. I will make a separate video on how to skip, but for now let's focus on drill number 2, which is the forward and backwards travel in your boxing stance. So in this section, I'm going to highlight some of the mistakes that most people will do when focusing on this drill. And one of the most common ones is clipping your heels together when moving. You definitely want to avoid this if you don't want to lose your balance. And obviously, avoid leading with your heels. Stop having too much of a clunky feet when moving forward and backwards. And last but not least, don't stiffen your upper body. You're not a bodybuilder. Make sure that you stay relaxed in your guard, relax your shoulders, and mainly maintain your feet shoulder width apart when moving forward and backwards. Drill number 3 is the side step, very essential for creating angles. In this drill, you want to make sure that you're focusing on the step-based analogy. Step-based analogy is where you push off from your back foot and you step with your front foot when you are moving to your left. If your southpaw is going to be mirrored. When you step to your right, it's still the same analogy, but we're transferring the weight differently by pushing off from the front foot and stepping from the back foot. The 4th drill that I would like to break down is the pivot for creating angles both offensively and defensively. In this section, we're focusing on the weight shift of your lead foot, the balls of your feet, and your heels. The important part is weight shift, allowing your weight to shift to 60% of your front foot and imagining that you're burning the cigarette on the balls of your feet. I recommend you guys practicing this drill on the spot, pivoting clockwise and anti-clockwise, just so you guys can better understand the weight distribution on your front foot and how important it is to be on the balls of your feet. Now, touching upon this, make sure that you avoid being flat-footed on the ground when pivoting. It's super dangerous for your knee and it might pop out. So always make sure that your knee is tracking in line with the mid-toe throughout the whole entire movement. Once you've mastered the pivot on the spot, I'm going to teach you guys how to step pivot, which is going to be your bonus drill. So pay attention for this one. In this drill, you're going to step on the plate and the same rule applies. You're going to make sure you transfer that weight 60% on the lead foot and you're going to burn the cigarette on the ground on the balls of your feet. You're going to keep repeating this process, going clockwise and anti-clockwise. Essential movement number 5 is probably the most underrated movement, as people forget there's not just forward and backwards or cutting angles, you also need to move around the ring freely. So with this drill, we're going to keep it simple by doing 1 round of 30 seconds moving anti-clockwise. In round 2, we simply change directions and focus on staying nice and relaxed, but without keeping your heels and keeping your hands up in the process. And in round 3 for 45 seconds, we're now mixing up by changing directions explosively, and we can also use the hand gestures to pretend that you're maneuvering your opponent out of the way, making it a little bit more realistic. Essential movement number 6 is the 1-2 footwork, which is another main variation of the step base. Let me explain. In this drill, we're going back to the step base analogy, but this time when you're moving forward, you're pushing off from the back foot and then you're stepping in with your front foot. To simplify this even further, I want you guys to understand that when you step with the front foot, that is the step. When you push off from the back foot and come back to base, you simply come back to your feet shoulder width apart. It's very important that you maintain this posture even when you're stepping back. Once again, because you're going backwards, the weight transfer differs, which means that you're pushing off from your front foot and you're stepping back from your back foot. Remember to keep it simple. Your back foot steps and your front foot comes back to base. Make sure you use a ladder so you can maintain the guide of keeping your feet shoulder width apart. Next progression is the step 1 base analogy, making sure that as you step your jab out, you simply retract it as soon as you come back to base. Same rule applies when you're stepping backwards. And in stage number 3, we're adding the step 1 base 2 analogy. Every time you step, you throw that jab. Every time you come back to your base, you throw that backhand. As you keep drilling these step by step, going slow, then going a little bit quicker the next round, make sure that you ace down the fundamentals and the rhythm first. Once you understand the rhythm, over time, your movements will start looking a lot more fluid. Once you've mastered the fluidity of the movement, you can then take away the ladder and practice the shadow boxing version of your 1-2 footwork, focusing on the step base going backwards and the step base going forward. Now you guys must be thinking you're done, but now I'm going to show you guys extra love by giving you guys a bonus drill, simply because you guys have been showing me nothing but love on the channel. And in this final drill, we're going to be focusing on the pendulum footwork drill. Tips on what not to do in your pendulum is keeping your upper torso stiff and keeping your feet narrow. The next bad habit that I see a lot of people do is that they lead with their front foot only, which means that they're thinking that they're doing the pendulum, but they're not moving their feet in unison. So let's polish it up by doing 30 seconds of our step-based footwork, which you guys already know. Second stage, we're focusing on dashing forward and backwards, but maintaining your feet wider than shoulder width apart. Very important. Now we combine everything together by combining all the drills together and applying the explosive aspect of the drill by keeping your core engaged, legs wide and shoulder width apart, and legs moving as a unit. To finalize everything, I'm going to give you, the viewers, the homework to combine every 7 footwork fundamental drill that I've just shown you guys in this video into your shadow boxing rounds. This will give you the opportunity to play and explore what you've learned now and apply that knowledge into action. How realistic can you perform your shadow boxing rounds? Imagine that there's an opponent, even if you have no fight experience, still imagine that there is someone in front of you and you are trying to evade them as much as possible. Also, don't stress if you've forgotten the drills, just take it one step at a time and let the information marinate and come back to this video in your own time for more guidance. Also want to show some love and appreciation to all my viewers who are always supporting the channel by liking and subscribing the channel. Peace and love. Leave a comment down below if you found this video helpful, and also comment if you would like to learn anything else in my channel. Once again, don't forget to leave that like and that subscribe for more videos coming your way. Love.